There's one question most men never think to ask a woman. And the few who do, curious, those are the guys she can't stop thinking about. They're the ones she talks about with her friends, the ones whose conversations she replays in her mind long after they end. Today, I'm going to share exactly what that question is, why it works on a psychological level, and how to ask it naturally without sounding scripted. Here's the thing. If your conversations still start with, "How was your day?" and you're wondering why she doesn't open up emotionally or even sexually, this might be the most important thing you watch all year. Curious, I'm your guide from, and today we're diving into the psychology of female desire. We'll explore 3 key triggers most men completely overlook. By the end, you'll understand why curiosity sparks attraction more effectively than confidence alone ever could. Excited? The 3rd trigger? That's what separates the guys she forgets from the ones she can't stop thinking about. Most men believe attraction comes from impressing her. They talk about their jobs, their achievements, what they've got going on. Chuckles. There's nothing wrong with being successful, but here's the reality. When you spend an entire conversation talking about yourself, her mind often drifts. Curious, attraction doesn't stem from what you tell her about yourself. It comes from how you make her feel about herself when she's with you. The fastest way to make a woman feel interesting, valued, and emotionally alive is to ask questions that truly matter. Not, "What do you do for work?" or "Where did you go to school?" Exhales. Those keep the conversation safe and flat. They don't ignite any spark. But asking about her passions, the moments that shaped her, or what makes her feel alive, curious. That opens a whole different space. You invite her to share her inner world, to reflect, to dream. And when a woman feels genuinely understood, desire naturally grows. This is where most men stumble. They worry that asking deeper questions makes them seem too intense, too invested, or too vulnerable. Curious, but emotional questions don't signal neediness. They show depth. They prove you're not afraid of real connection. Thoughtful. That's what separates you from the men who are only trying to impress her. The second trigger is crucial. Women don't open their hearts or their bodies without feeling emotionally safe. Thoughtful. This can be uncomfortable for men because we're taught attraction is about charm, confidence, or even physical touch. But true intimacy starts with emotional safety. Sincere. Emotional safety doesn't mean agreeing with everything she says or being soft. It means she can be herself around you without judgment, pressure, or rush. When a woman's nervous system relaxes around you, when she trusts that you see her beyond just her body, her walls begin to soften. You build that safety by listening without interrupting, asking follow-up questions instead of turning the conversation back to yourself. Curious. Phrases like, "Tell me more about that," or "Why does that matter to you?" go a long way. In these moments, she experiences something rare, a man who doesn't consume her story, but holds it. Sighs. A man who welcomes her emotions rather than fears them. That, more than anything, creates desire. The third trigger, and this one is vital, is understanding the difference between need and desire. Thoughtful. Need pushes her away, desire draws her in. If you enter a conversation craving approval, desperate for validation, waiting anxiously for her to laugh or respond, she can sense it. Sighs, women can detect when a man is trying to earn his worth instead of embodying it. When you cultivate presence, being grounded, comfortable in your own skin, not rushing the interaction, that's magnetic. Presence isn't performing or auditioning for her attention. It's being fully there, listening without planning what to say next. Pause. It's allowing silence, staying steady even if she tests you, and remaining rooted when emotions rise. Exhales. That steadiness lets her relax enough to step fully into her feminine energy. Here's the paradox. The moment you stop needing her approval, she starts desiring yours. Curious. When you're not in a hurry for her body, she naturally wants to move closer. Feminine energy opens when it feels chosen, not consumed. Now, some of you might wonder, okay, this all sounds amazing, but what do I actually ask? Curious. That's why I created a free guide called 20 Best Sexual Questions to Ask a Woman. These aren't surface-level icebreakers. They're conversation starters designed to build emotional intimacy, create sexual tension, and help you discover what she genuinely desires without awkwardness. Excited. They explore connection, past experiences, fantasies, and what makes her feel wanted. You can download it for free in the description below. So here's what I want you to remember. Attraction isn't about being perfect or having all the right answers. It's about curiosity, asking questions that touch her inner world. Thoughtful. It's about emotional safety through consistent presence. And it's about knowing that desire follows connection, not the other way around. The man who masters this doesn't just get her attention, he becomes unforgettable because he creates a space where she naturally wants to reveal herself emotionally and physically. If this changed the way you see attraction, hit subscribe, leave a comment, and share one question you're going to ask differently from now on. Curious, I read every single one. Sincere. Thanks for watching.